No, I can't stop thinking about. The only thing I'm thinking about is last night.
Oh,
That
yeah.
show. That's
you
the
you
only
got a
thing
worm
on my
in your
mind.
brain.
I can't.
Dude.
So last night I did a show at a local theater, and I opened the show with a joke because the theater's in Chinatown, and the name of the theater sounds like something Asians would name a theater.
Yeah.
Should I just say? I mean, who cares?
Might as well. You're banned anyway.
There's a good comedy. Like, it sounds funny. It's funny, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
that I immediately, as soon as that joke is like getting I opened with it, and it hardly worked, and I was like, yeah, that joke never works. I always open with that. I like to open with a bad racist joke, make sure everyone knows I suck. Like just joking. Everything's fine.
The place is named Good Good. You're in Chinatown, and you open up, welcome to Good Good.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
And it's funny they're
Hilarious,
they're
dude.
gentrifying Good, or they're
Yeah.
gentrifying Chinatown. So it's
Definitely.
it's funny to gentrify and to steal their culture.
By naming it Good
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, a very good comedy here. $5, all comedy you can have. Do you like alt white guys pretending to wear dress up clothes? Come in here. What about foreign named comedy girls? Today we have Napana Chamana. Very good comedy. Yeah, I'm definitely banned.
That'd be hilarious if like an old Asian dude bought that and just continued with their
know.
whole shtick.
Yeah. Today we have a Jabuki. Very funny comedy. Is he white? No one knows. Very diverse comedy here.
Stop.
Yeah, so
I can't take it anymore.
I went in there and did it. And every time I go, I'm always totally cognizant of the fact that
Oh my god.
somebody's going to get upset with it.
I'm sorry. The Asian voice, I think, is like the bottom of my foot in terms of my sense of humor.
Yeah, it
Just
is.
if you hit it, dude, I fucking
so
can't
funny.
stop laughing.
Well, that's why I fucking did it on stage, because it's funny to go up there.
It's so funny.
$5 comedy. You want the comedy here?
I don't know, man.
We sell textbooks. We rip off college kids for textbooks to pay for a good comedy here.
Yeah, that's a whole other issue.
Do we rip off Barack colleges sometimes? Maybe. Have we ever ripped off a Cheney? Yes. All right.
Oh my god.
So I did.
So you did the voice.
Did the voice, and then during my set, I did a joke about everybody says they're not racist, and then I say being racist isn't like a yes or no thing. Being racist is like being hungry. Sure, you're not hungry right now, but a cheeseburger could cut you off in traffic, and you could get hungry.
Yeah.
And then people kind of laugh, and then I say, if it helps, the cheeseburger's Asian. Does that help you feel comfortable with that joke?
And people laugh.
Because it seems like the cheeseburger I'm talking about is a black person.
Yeah.
At which point the joke is racist.
Exactly.
But then when I point out the fact that if it was Asian, you wouldn't be offended.
Well, and I've seen it a bunch of times in
Yes.
action. The joke works regardless, but then usually when you hit the cheeseburger line saying he's Asian, everyone laughs.
So the point of that joke is to point out the double standard that it's racist for us to laugh. It is a racist if it is a black cheeseburger. Oh, very black cheeseburger. So if the cheeseburger's black, it's racist. But then if I make it Asian, everyone's comfortable with. White people are comfortable to laugh at it.
Definitely.
Which I'm pointing out the fact that that's a double standard. Very double.
Well, you might be too subversive for your own good.
Maybe, but I think it's pretty clear when I say, does that make it better?
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, if the cheeseburger's Asian, does that help?
I think the whole thing is just that, like, so like an SJW sitting in the crowd, the soup's already rotten, dude.
Sure.
You said
Sure,
cheeseburger, now they're
Sure.
going, meh. And you say Asian, they just go, meh.
Yeah,
meh.
that's exactly what happened. They misinterpreted it and they took it.
2 stops this time. Meh, meh.
Yeah, exactly. They do the fucking cha-cha slide of oppression, dude. They're just like, oh. But so then they did this interview thing because it was a game show or like a show.
You had three angry people, two angry people.
3 angry girls in the dead front row.
So it was like the Muppets instead of old men. It was just 2 angry Asian ladies looking down at you, being like, "Ah."
They're very pretty young. They were young too. That was a problem. They were like probably mid to early 20s. So they were just primed for like, he should not be talking about our race this way.
Oh, so they were just like,
yeah, they were full on fucking like. But again, they weren't doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
They were offended by what I had said, but they weren't saying anything.
Well,
they just didn't think it was funny, which
yeah.
is fine. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't mad at them for that. That happens all the time. You're
Yeah.
allowed to
People don't
either
like it.
not get it or not think it's funny.
True.
So that's fine. I had no problem with that. But then when they do this interview thing afterwards, I was joking with the fact that they didn't like me.
Yeah.
I was like, these three did not like me at all. And I was like, now that we're in the open Q&A session, I figured I'd address that, maybe break the ice. And I did kind of. They started to laugh. And I'd done an Australian joke, so that one of the hosts was like, yeah, they probably didn't like you because they're Australian. And I was like, I don't think that's it. It's probably because they're Asians.
And
that was what made them very upset.
But that was the truth of the matter.
Yeah, well, don't just say truth here. But no, and then I got off stage and I was like, man, I do feel bad. I didn't want to fucking actually hurt their feelings.
Yeah,
like
it hurts more too when they're hot.
Yeah,
you don't want to hurt
true,
hot chicks' feelings.
True.
You're like, no, I'm wrong.
Well, I just knew it was a miscommunication.
Yeah,
and I was the only one talking, so it was on me. So like, I felt bad.
Okay.
I was like, I felt bad. I didn't want to hurt their feelings. So I was like, I think I'm going to go apologize to them. And then a female comic that was on the show with me was like, those are actually my roommates. I think they'd be open to you apologizing to them. And I was like, yeah, I can do that for sure. I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't want to rehash it and make it weirder than it has to be. Maybe it wasn't that weird. Maybe it's just in my head. And she was like, no, I think it'd be good if you did. And I was like, all right, cool. I can probably do that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, if I want to, sure.
Yeah.
So then I'm standing there. And then that same female comic comes walking back in and is like, okay, now they're out front. You can go apologize to them.
Jesus Christ.
And I was like,
she's on like a headset right now.
Then
Being like,
she
oh, he's
walked
coming
into
out.
me. Yeah. Then she walks back and approached me and was like, they're outside. You can go apologize. You should apologize. She basically
Jesus
was like,
Christ.
go apologize.
She's
And I was
pretty
like,
much shoving you out the door.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, man, now I really don't want to.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's a normal reaction.
But so then I went out and I was like, hey, sorry about that. I did apologize. I wasn't like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. But I was like,
Yeah.
hey, I didn't have any intention of. When I walked up to them, the one girl literally like shuddered away from me. She's like, oh my God.
Probably thought you were about to fucking
They
hit
were
them.
like really mad at me.
Probably thought you were about to bust your dick out,
They
dude.
were upset.
They're ready for level 2, dude. They thought you were about to fucking start jerking off.
Full fucking. So then I was like, guys, I was like, I didn't mean to do that. I was like, oh, so sorry. No, I didn't say that. That would have been sick. But no, I was like, sorry. I didn't mean to fucking get you guys fired up.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to offend you. I was just telling. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. And they were like, well, you expected us to like sit there and take. And I was like, look, you don't have to accept my apology.
Yeah.
I'm just saying sorry. I'm gonna leave.
Apologies on the table.
Goodbye. Like,
Nice.
See ya. And then
Should have just bought them some candy, not apologize.
think I should have gotten
"Here you
sweet
go."
treats?
Got a sweet treat. Like, here you go.
do you think they were like, but then,
That sucks. So you're forced to apologize. Basically, they're like, it was just like, all right, well, let's fucking debate, right?
well, see, the thing that sucks is I was going to apologize on my own.
Yeah, and you got bullhorned.
And then someone came up and was like, go apologize right now. And it's like, well, now I'm apologizing for something that I've never had to apologize for those jokes in my entire life.
Yeah.
Not my entire life, but you know what I mean? Since I've been telling them, which
Well,
has
that'd
been
be
like
funny
2
if
fucking
you were
years.
like, I do that every single time in my act, and then
Yeah.
now you have to stick to like an Asian voice in your act every single time.
For sure.
That would be
So then somebody that was at the show, somebody
Yeah.
who...
So this is run by Good, who used to do digital graffiti and be
Who
like,
used to
this
do our
show's
show.
genius, this
Sure.
show's awesome.
Well,
And
I
it
don't
was
know if they ever called it genius.
Yeah, I've had it before. It's like, dude, this show's great. That show was awesome. So maybe not genius, quote unquote,
yeah.
but they're like, dude, awesome. This show's great, blah, blah, blah. So now you're telling me that was, what, last year?
Maybe 2.
2 years ago.
Year and a half, 2. Yeah.
And now
Times have
that-
changed, man. Things have changed.
That's a quick change, dude.
It was a sudden
That was the whole
change.
point of digital graffiti, to be as offensive as
Yeah.
possible.
But then I get home and read this Facebook message.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't read it. It was sent to me. This was clearly, I mean, it's vague because that's how these people operate.
Yeah, in the
They'll
shadows.
They'll like obviously criticize you, but not name you.
Yeah.
And then be like, it wasn't about you.
Yeah.
So anyway, an hour after that show ended, somebody that was there, he said, giving a pass to a racist, sexist, homophobic comedian because they're, quote, good at comedy is like giving a pass to a racist, sexist, homophobic politician because they're good at politics. Oh, a very wisdom. A very good wisdom.
Yeah, it's lame, dude.
Nah, that sucks. But
That does. Well, there
so that's been bothering the fuck out of
That'll
me.
piss me
'Cause
off,
it's like,
man.
man, every time I see the guy who wrote that, I try to be friendly. I mean,
Why?
I get it. He doesn't fucking like me. Well, I don't. Anytime people don't like me,
That's true. Yeah,
it bothers the fuck out.
Well,
of me.
the onus is on you too, because like we're currently the Monstars right now, dude.
Yeah, and like,
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, it's not like they're gonna be like, hey man, you know, things
of course,
are weird right
there's
now.
Zero chance he would ever be like, look.
Well, if he needed something from you,
Sure,
he would be like, you're the best, you're the great.
But it's like,
If you have more credits, not a problem.
I had the textbooks.
yeah.
But yeah, it's just, it sucks. I mean, now it's definitely not going to ever resolve itself. I'm sure they'll get their weasel mitts on this. But
Sure, of course.
yeah, it's just been a bummer because I've tried every time I'm there to be friendly with him.
Yeah. Well, dude, you could literally.
But
It doesn't matter. It
I
all
guess
depends on.
on stage, I'm racist and sexist and homophobic.
Exactly.
So
I mean, dude,
it's brand over common sense, and his brand is to be an ally. Mm-hmm. Their brand, excuse me, the club, the theater's brand is like, this is, you know, they're not, that type of comedy isn't meant.
Yeah.
And by that type of comedy, I mean if it's coming from a straight white guy.
exactly. Yeah.
If I was anything else saying exactly the same set last night.
If anyone complains, you know
Sure.
what I mean? Like if they had, it's just you know that's their product. You go in there and it's just that's what it is. Mm-hmm. So, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even about if you were friends or whatever. It's like even if you guys were best friends, as soon as people were like, I don't like him, you could have paid for the whole theater.
Sure.
And as soon as
I
people
got
were
my
like,
name
I
on
don't
the
like
wall.
him,
I got my name on that plaque
do you
out
really?
front. Yeah.
That's sick.
That'd be sick if I got blacked off of it.
Probably will.
That'd be fucking sick. A little
Someone's gonna fucking color you in.
Dishonorable. I'm already regretting the first part of this.
Really?
Yeah.
You getting antsy?
But it just sucks.
It
sucks
does.
that it's
Well,
come
you're
to
the
this.
bad guy no matter what. So
I'm gonna be the bad guy, but it's whatever.
It's
That's how
what
it
it
goes.
is. Yeah.
You know, I'm at Bananas Comedy Club regardless.
still fighting your fight, dude.
I'm at fucking Hartford, Connecticut Funny Bone this weekend.
Well, I just wonder if they'll actually hit you with the big band.
I mean, I don't care if they do.
Yeah.
I don't
that would
think
be
I've
sick, though.
really ever been paid for doing comedy at that show or that club.
Yeah.
And I
Well, we
don't
got paid
think-
big time for our show.
No, we
We
didn't.
used to get like $30 every time we packed it out. That was sick.
Every time we sold it out and brought Big J Okerson into there, literally brought Big J Okerson to our show.
Yeah.
I brought some decent comics. I brought Rich Voss there. I brought Big J Okerson there.
Yeah. You fucking homophobe.
And if you bring Big J, who's pretty much constantly homophobic, sexist, and racist throughout his comedy, and Rich Voss, who's clearly homophobic, racist, and sexist in his comedy, and you're happy to receive them.
Well, I'm telling you, man. All you need is more credits.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Very.
Dude, supporting them is like supporting a politician who's racist, homophobic,
True.
and bigoted.
True. They should.
Duh.
Yeah. It's very clear.
Tony, if you have
logic.
more credits, you're good. All you need is credits
Yeah,
to crush
but
all
it's
that.
tough to get credits
Well,
because I suck.
and don't make fun of Asians, dude.
True. I'm gonna stop making fun of
Wait
Asians.
till you get on TV
Then
and
I'm
then
gonna
just
get on.
fucking let it rip.
Well, I don't make fun of Asians.
No, I know.
The thing wasn't. I mean, it was funny too because I was like, if I bring this up on our podcast,
Yeah.
all you have to do is listen to any one of our podcasts and be like, oh yeah, he's pretty racist. I tone it down so much on stage compared to this.
Well, I mean, plus too, you get a lot of people on stage, and I mean, this is a classic role reversal. It never works, but there's like I watch black comics all the time make fun of do white guy voice, and I'm always like hilarious.
Yeah.
Love watching black dudes do white guy voice. It just makes me
Oh
laugh.
my god.
It makes me laugh so hard.
Well, hello. Yeah, like.
Officer, yeah, it's always like calling the cops. being
Well,
like,
I don't.
So
I realize there's no correlation. The correlation is very thin between
It is.
black comics making fun of white people.
It's foggy.
But there's enough people, every single comic, like literally saying white guys are evil, and there doesn't seem to be that much of a joke in it. You know what I mean? Like people go on stage and be like, "Straight white men should not be in power," and it's like, all right.
If I started fucking talking about like Rupert Murdoch and all that shit, people would be like, "Yo, bro, chill the fuck out."
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just what it is, man.
It was there were people that were upset.
Because you said it good.
Because I said, welcome to a good comedy. But it wasn't a big deal.
No.
And I was wrong in that they were upset
They
about it.
They probably were charged. They probably went Super Saiyan mode on Facebook, all caps, outrage, dude.
Yeah, they were definitely, they were reaching to get offended on that. They were reaching.
They just went, a little like the anime teardrop hit the corner of their head, like,
And I would just stand there like, oh, the fucking
All the stripes came behind
the background behind me, just like, whoa. Yeah,
Oh, see, that's funny.
it is funny.
That's hilarious.
But some places you just,
Yeah.
I don't know. It sucks because it happened. It all changed with the political climate.
Yeah.
Like
If Trump didn't win,
when I
yeah.
first moved here, everything was cool.
Yeah.
And everybody got along and everything was fine. And then politics and all that, like political correctness and people being anti-politically correct and like, because both sides are not equal, but both sides are pretty wrong on a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Like there's a ton of fucking morons on the anti-PC fucking
Yeah, yeah.
side that are like,
Well, it's just like, the whole thing's just like a
so
it's like a self-calibrating mechanism. It's like you have
Sure.
weirdos on the left and right, and they have to just kind of argue so that like,
Yeah.
this doesn't fly off the rails either way.
and especially in comedy where 95% of these people are complete fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sitting across from a guy who comes on his own laptop.
Exactly.
Who seems pretty normal.
Yeah, and that's
in
the
the
thing, too.
community, you're actually normal.
I'm like really well keeled among comedians, and it's like it is funny, dude. And it's also even just like people who, when people talk like they have a huge handle on politics, who like don't work in politics. I'm always kind of in my head like you're just jerking yourself off.
Yeah.
Like to think that you, a fucking waiter or whatever you do, or just sitting at home and you got the grasp on the entire landscape of
Sure.
politics in America, and you're like, here's what we need to do. It's like you're jerking yourself off.
Yeah, I used to do that. I've been in that, and then
Yeah.
I grew up, and I was like, I started to grow up and be like, oh, I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And if you look at pretty much any argument, both sides usually have decent reasons. Like net neutrality even had some decent fucking
Yeah.
reasons. Like everything has.
Dude, thank our new sponsor, the repeal of net neutrality.
Yes, thank you very much. Our new sponsor paying for internet.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
We're gonna make people pay $20 a podcast
This
to get
podcast
rich.
now costs $800.
7 bitcoins
All
per
we need
listen.
is one guy. All we need is Richards to buy this thing, dude.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
All we need
Someone could
we
totally
need
buy our
Trevor
podcast.
and fucking Richards to buy this for
Our
$800.
podcast is up for sale right now.
Yeah. Also, shout. But that's been back to that fucking bullshit that happened to me last night.
I know.
Can't get it. I won't let that go for a while.
You shouldn't, man.
And then people will be like,
You got someone bullied you about your art.
somebody will listen to this and call me a dickhead, and I'll be like, listen, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'll apologize to whoever confronts me about this.
You have to.
I got to work on that. I got to work on not apologizing.
just sticking to your guns.
My sister was making fun of me for that. The
Yeah.
whole last episode, I apologized after every single thing.
Oh, it's
I said.
funny too. And I thought about that afterwards. I'm like, damn, dude, Katie's right. You gotta rip it.
I know. Well, if I and then as soon as I apologized last night to those girls, when I was like, listen,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry about that. Then I am complete. Like I'm agreeing that I was.
now
wrong.
you're wrong. Yeah.
I was like,
Well, it's not that. It's just, it's weird because they would love to believe you're like super one dimensional and you just walk around being
Sure.
like Asians, black people, fucking
yeah,
Muslims.
which is yeah.
And it's like you're just making jokes, and then in your day to day life, when you know somebody's upset with you, it bothers you
Yeah.
because you're not a sociopath. So now you got to, you just won't. I do the same thing. I walk into a room and I'm like, fuck, man, I have some weird shit with this person. And it's just like, you just would rather be like, hey, what's going on? 'Cause
Sure. And
whatever.
I've done it a couple times.
It doesn't. You
And,
know what I mean?
and eventually it just comes back to me apologizing again.
Yeah, but there's a whole other set of factors too, because it's like I can't even explain. Like you having to apologize is almost like bedrock to their social interaction. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. To like that whole thing, to where like it's not like that. Their whole Saturday nights revolve around that being like, and then these Asian girls got mad, and I forced Shane to do this, and it's like you run a fucking comedy club, dude.
No, it wasn't him.
No, I know
Yeah.
that, but I'm saying like. To be like, yeah, that was fucked up. I've never met a comedy owner like a club owner who was just trying to tell a comedian like, well, they'll tell you not to be dirty, I guess.
You know what's also funny? I haven't run into that in a long time.
Yeah.
It's been like 3 years.
Well, once you
since I've
start
had someone-
middling too, they
sure,
like when
sure.
you're hosting, that's when they hit you with like, be clean. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, welcome
Yeah.
to.
Oh, I closed. Yeah. It's funny too when people like host, because now I have it in my mind that the host should be kind of clean.
Yeah.
And then a host will walk out and be like, what the fuck is up? How the fuck are you? And I'm sitting there like, whoa, dude.
Yo, man, what the
Chill the fuck out.
I love seeing when hosts go out and just fucking totally rip
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Or like
yeah,
when
yeah.
you go on a show and a host just fucking eats a bird, you get to come out. It's like
Yes.
after you host and you don't have to host anymore, it's so nice to come out after the host. If they do
Oh, that
bad,
reminds
you
me.
can just make fun of them. And if they do good, you're like, all right, crowd's hot. I'm going to go out
Oh, yeah.
and smash.
I remember it now because I kind of did that because this weekend at Bananas, Bananas Comedy Club. The host, Camacho is his last name.
Nice. I
Make sure I'm getting that right.
I have a cousin's cousin named Camacho.
He's a good bull.
What was his first name?
James.
Okay.
James. And I think it's Camacho, but whatever. James.
Yeah.
He was funny. He's a New York kid. And he went on and was like, he was talking about how he's half Asian, half Puerto Rican.
Okay.
His mom's Chinese, his dad's Puerto Rican. And he was talking about he was talking about how, his life growing up like that, standard stuff. And then I followed him and I was like, I did not know that guy was diverse. Thought for sure he was white. I was back right before the show. I was giving him the old fucking inside white guy talk. I was like,
really?
Yo, I saw Star Wars, a little too much diversity. You know what I mean? Like, I was talking to him like he was a white guy.
I was imagining you being at your family Christmas party and all of a sudden there's just like a black guy in your family and you're like, what's going on?
Yeah, like 3 Asians are just in my family. And my family's like, they've always been here. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything, but they don't make sense being here. It's not accurate
Your
that
sister
they're
has
here.
purple hair and you just sit there, you're just sitting here like, what's
We
going
got an Arab
on?
now.
That's
We
true.
got Arabs infiltrating my family now.
That's true.
Keeping my white blood pure, my fucking depressed, alcoholic, diabetic blood needs to, my dumb white blood needs to remain pure.
Well, there you have it.
That is just, I just Alex Jones the fuck out that whole episode, dude.
It was fun.
I've been so upset about that all day. It's just the worst
You
time.
needed to get it. You couldn't talk about anything else.
It's the
dude.
worst time for us to have done this podcast.
You couldn't.
Within less than 24
I
hours
know.
from that incident, I just, somebody messaged me that Facebook status.
Oh, man.
You know what else was funny? Before I went on,
Yeah.
I was backstage talking to the girl, the female comic, who eventually would demand an apology out of me.
Yeah.
Before the show, being friendly, everything's good. And I was like, she was like, kind of asking. I was like, I might have said like, I don't feel like going out there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do it. And she's like, why? What's wrong? And I was like, it's just I don't like performing at a place where I have a feeling. Like, I just get the feeling that everybody in here fucking does not like me.
Yeah.
Like, the comics I see, the comics that hang out there, the owner, just doesn't.
Yeah.
I know the owner doesn't like me.
Yeah.
And just when you see other comics that are like wanting you to fail,
Of course.
so it's hard to do stand up for people that don't like you.
Yeah, especially in a crowd that's geared
Especially
not
in a
to.
crowd that's like, he better not be offensive. He's a straight white man. He's lucky
Oh, yeah.
he's here.
Yeah.
If he's not being silly, he better not be straight and white.
Yeah.
The only way you can be white on that type of stage is
Super
if
silly,
you're
dude.
like wearing a tight sweater and being a complete pussy
Yeah.
and making fun like, I suck my own dick.
Yeah.
Actually, sorry, that was a bad example because it's a real example. And from a funny comic. But before the show, I was like, yeah, I don't like performing places where I feel like people don't like me. And she was like, yeah, I feel that a lot too. And I was like, yeah, once you realize that no one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Once you realize like you're not important enough for people to care.
Yeah.
Which is normally the case. Then it doesn't matter. You realize you were just being dumb. You're in your own head because no one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but usually what happens is I'll go out there and talk a lot of shit, like call everyone dorks, make fun of them for being liberal,
Yeah.
make fun of it for being a safe space. And then it does well, it works. And then as soon as I get off stage, I feel bad about it. Just because
What else can you do?
I feel bad about it. And then usually somebody hits me with a vague Facebook post. I called my fucking shot. I
Damn!
100% said that.
Wow.
And then I, of course, go on stage, was a little heavy-handed with the Asians, get
Yeah.
off stage, felt bad about it,
Got hit
come
with the
home,
Facebook
get hit
post.
with a vague Facebook post.
Wow.
100%. Called it.
Interesting.
Shane Stradamus, dude.
That is Shane Stradamus,
I
dude.
called it.
Holy fuck.
And now I'll spend the next week in torment.
Why?
No, I'll
fucking
go
cares?
do stand-up tonight and then Friday and Saturday up at the
Ball-
Funny
this is
Bone.
Ball out
The
elsewhere.
Funny Bone in Hartford, Connecticut with the Rich Voss, with the legend, dude. I love that guy so much.
He's so fucking
He's
funny.
the best.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
So, yeah, I'll be fine. I just, just don't like to have people upset with me.
I hear you. It's hard.
I'm a nice guy.
It's hard, but dude,
Yeah.
all great men must
Oh, great man.
deal with your detractors.
Yeah. Fucking hang myself.
A lot of great men do that as
A
well.
lot of great men have hung themselves and got shot in the head and shit.
Yep.
So, yeah, maybe I'll do that. I don't
Yeah.
know. Ball out.
Don't hang yourself.
I'm not going to hang myself over a fucking Asian girl getting offended.
Sorry.
I'm not going to. You don't have to actually worry.
No, I'm not. It's just so funny to imagine.
If I Shawshanked it and fucking wrote like Shane was here, hung myself at the good.
The drywall's just like.
Yeah, I would go. I mean, this thing's already leaking. My ceiling's dripping with water. It's a peasant's life for me, dude.
Yeah, you don't have enough. You'd have to like do it like The Wire and hang yourself from the doorknob like the one dude.
What? You sit down with it?
Yeah, you sit on it and hang yourself.
Take some.
You gotta really want it. Yeah, you gotta really want it.
No, I'm not that sad.
All right.
I'll probably just, if I did that, I would probably Allah Akbar.
You go bomb vest?
Not actual bomb. I'm talking full on stand up. Fucking.
You think you Bud Wire a stand up set?
I wouldn't actually commit suicide. I'm saying I'd give a couple hardcore fucking sets before I dropped.
Yeah, that's true.
You know how we were saying last week about Allah Akbar, you guys are all retards is the new.
Yeah,
I'd do that. I'd hit a couple rooms and just be like, you guys are all retards. Do a 6 set.
When I was in Brooklyn, I tried doing that. I was like, I'm going to tell these people just how annoying they are. And I got up there and I was just be like, you guys fucking suck. And I just mumbled and stuttered and was like, fuck you guys. And
I'm good at that. I'm horrible at it. I can go into a room like in Brooklyn and be like, yo, what's up? Yeah. It's fucking me.
Yeah.
Your bully from high school. You thought you could fucking hide from me in Brooklyn, you fucking dork. I found you. I learned art and I found you.
Yep.
Yeah, that line usually works.
Yeah, I just went up there and just stuttered. And was like, fuck these guys.
Fuck, you guys are so fucking gay. Like, I'm just trying to be funny and you guys are just fucking getting mad at it.
Well, I agreed with the comic going up before me because they were like, his shit was funny and they weren't giving him anything. I'm like, you guys fucking suck, blah, 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 blah. And it just evolved into me just being like, I don't know what I was about to talk about next. I was like, oh, God. They gave me a light and I was like, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
And I was out.
All right, we should end this, right?
Yeah.